Well, good Saturday afternoon, everyone. Nathan Burks here for Stormtrooper Network here on the Mississippi Stormtroopers page. We are going live this afternoon with a severe weather coverage. As you can see from the radar behind me, there is a significant weather event unfolding. The pink is a PDS tornado watch, which is a particularly dangerous situation, which is a very rare watch issued by the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We only have one active warning for the state of Mississippi right now. This is all contained to far southwestern Mississippi. This is going to be pull this warning up. This is a warning was issued at 2:58, but has been upgraded to a tornado emergency. A tornado has been observed. Let's see if I can pull this. Let's see. Pulling up the data here. And this is from, I may need to change this. No, okay. Radar is coming from Hammond, Louisiana. Just getting all my tracking stuff here. And they just updated that warning. Extended it north and eastward. Let me pull this, pull my new tornado warning has been issued. This is issued at 3:38. Tornado warning from northwestern Lincoln and northwestern Lincoln County and southern Copiah County in central Mississippi until this goes until 4:45. At 3:37, the confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado is located over McCall Creek, or 13 miles east of Meadville, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation, and you need to take cover now. This is the wording National Weather Service is using here is life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage is the wording that they're using with this storm. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of analysis here. This is the velocity. Clear my tracks here. This is the velocity coming from the Hammond, Louisiana radar. You can see. Let me pull up a telestration. Right here is where the tornado is. This red is outbound, green is inbound, and you see this little couplet right here. We got two little skits right here that indicate the rotation. Now let's switch over here. They said this is observed, so that means they had spotter's eyes on it, but you can see right here this blue dropout. You got all this red around it, and you have the blue that is kind of dropped out there, that blue ring. That is indicative of debris being detected by the radar. So this is a tornado that is on the ground. It is doing damage right now. I'm looking through a bunch of different data sources, so just bear with me. And this is okay. We have storm spotters are on this. One of which is Reed Timmer, and he reports a large tornado on the ground with debris in the air. So, y'all bear with me. I'm not from Mississippi, so I'm going to do my best here to give you as much information as I can. This is coming up on I-55. If you are on I-55 or you're traveling I-55 between Hazelhurst and Brookhaven, you need to get off right now. Find a place to shelter right now. Do not be on the interstate with this thing. So this is going to be in the area of Brandywine United Methodist Church. This is going to be Jackson Liberty Drive, Old Red Star Drive, Freedom Church. If you hear me, if you're near any of the locations that I'm calling out now, go ahead and seek shelter now. Silverina Road, Lot Smith Road, all the way towards the Country Junction truck stop at I-55. Basically, if you're between Brookhaven and Hazelhurst, you need to get off the interstate right now. Wesson, this is coming, community of Wesson, this is coming right at you. US 51, again, between US 84 and Hazelhurst. You travel on US 51, you need to get off now, find a place of safety, and take cover immediately. We can go full screen here. Current time is 3:43. Again, we're tracking a large and particularly violent tornado that is on the ground in southwestern Mississippi. Tornado warning is in effect for northwestern Lincoln and southern Copiah County. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado is located over McCall Creek, 13 miles east of Meadville, moving northeast at 40. Again, you see, I'm going to clear out my paintbrush here, but you see right here, this blue area, right in here, this blue area is where debris is being picked up and lofted and is being detected by the radar. Now, one thing to note is this radar beam is very high off the ground. This is coming from the radar at Hammond, Louisiana, which is down here. You can see the live sweep coming from the radar at Hammond. Right now, this is the only tornado warning active for the area, for Mississippi. This is moving in. This is moving into Copiah County, Lincoln County and Copiah County right now. Let's switch modes here. I know a lot of people are probably freaking out about what's going on today. Let's take a deep breath, look back, and take a look at what's going on. This is the wide picture. This is the radar coming from Hammond. We have if you are in North Mississippi, north of Jackson and Yazoo City, nothing really going on for you. The Mississippi Delta region, Greenville down to Tallulah and Vicksburg, down to Natchez, that you are under a tornado watch, but it is a PDS watch, which means it's a particularly dangerous situation. This is a very rare setup that we have this time of year. This means that the conditions are right for what we're seeing now is long track tornadoes. Let's go back in here to the area of concern. This is the only active tornado warning for the state right now. We're watching these storms to the south that could be crossing over into southern Mississippi and probably going to be going towards the Magnolia-Macomb area. Just a heads up, that may be headed your way soon. No warning on that right now. This is the storm of the day so far. This is the one that's prompted a tornado emergency. And you see this very tight couplet right here that's just on the county line. This is almost straight due west of Brookhaven. This is moving up towards the Wesson area. This is going to cross Interstate 55 somewhere between Brookhaven and Hazelhurst. This is going to cross US 51 between Brookhaven and Hazelhurst. If you are in this general vicinity here, you want to take precautions to protect life and property. That means getting to the nearest the center of your house, lowest floor, away from windows. Put as many windows in between the outside and between you and the outside as possible, between as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you're in a mobile home, you want to get out. Get out and drive south. You don't want to drive north or west because you're going to intercept this thing, but you do not want to try to ride this tornado out in a mobile home. You will get hurt. Your mobile home will be destroyed by this storm. So you need to either go to a neighbor's house, somewhere substantial. Hopefully you have a storm shelter, but you need to not stay in that mobile home. Worst case scenario, lay face down in a ditch, cover your head. But anything's better than a mobile home in this type of situation. So another thing we want to look at, this is our debris. We're still seeing debris lofted by this storm. This blue area that is this bluish green here that's surrounded by all this red and orange. That bluish green area is debris that is being lofted by the tornado and is being detected by the radar. This is being lofted very high up because, again, this radar is 60 plus miles away down in Hammond. So it's very far away. Let's take a look and see if Jackson shows a better image as it's getting closer there. And yeah, you're seeing the debris being picked up by. Let's take a look at the velocity from Jackson. It's still very tight. You see the pinks and green right here is a very tight couplet. Just looking at some of my data sources, we do have reports of damage and injuries in Franklin County. I don't have an exact location. Yeah, let's take a look at, again, for those of you that are just tuning in, we have a tornado warning. This is a observed tornado. This is for northwestern Lincoln, southern Copiah County, Mississippi. This goes until 4:45 p.m. This is a particularly dangerous situation. This is a tornado, a large tornado on the ground. We have storm spotters are chasing this thing. And there is reports of damage and injuries already in Franklin County. So just to give you some times here, Caseyville, Vaughn, and Lloyd Star, this storm is on you right now. Wesson is going to be on top of you at 3:55. Glancy, Martinsville, and Beauregard, this is going to be on top of you at 4 p.m. Hazelhurst, 5 minutes later, 4:05. If you are in these areas right now, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. If you're driving on I-55 between Brookhaven and Hazelhurst, if you're in Brookhaven and going north, you need to stop. You need to get off the interstate and let this thing pass. If you're in Hazelhurst and going south, you need to stop. You need to let this thing pass. Find substantial shelter. Do not take shelter under an overpass. Contrary to popular belief, overpasses are very dangerous places to take shelter during a tornado because they act as a wind tunnel and funnel the winds, making them even stronger, and they can suck you out and loft you into the tornado. You want to lay down. If you absolutely have to and you can't find any place to take shelter, you need to lay down, face down in a ditch, and cover your head with your hands to the best of your ability. All right, so let's go back to reflectivity here. Let's look at this is a TVS signature. It's what basically the radar is saying, hey, there is rotation here. And it's a fairly substantial updraft at 18,000 feet. This is a fairly healthy summer thunderstorm. It's in a very unstable environment. If you're watching us in northern Mississippi, this is not affecting you. You've got a bunch of rain up there, but really the main severe threat is going to be mainly south and around and south of Jackson, down towards southern Mississippi, and this is going to push over into eastern Mississippi, and including the I-10 corridor later this evening and tonight. But right now, the storm of the day is this storm right here. This is one that we have confirmed tornado on the ground. It is producing damage. We have here's some arrival times here. I'll move these over and let you see them. All right. Just going through my different plots of information here. Let's go back. We're going to take a look at the velocity, just see what this couplet is doing, what the storm is doing. And it's still a fairly tight couplet. This is let me clear this track here. It's still a fairly tight couplet. Again, red's outbound, green is inbound. Let's see if we're still getting debris detected by radar, and we are. The signature has actually gotten better. See, it's now more of a donut hole, which is it's indicative that debris is blocked in. The radar is picking things up and saying this is not rain. Essentially, when you get a signature that looks like that, the radar is debris is being lofted by the storm. The radar is hitting that, and it's able to differentiate between that. Between basically rain and not rain, essentially. So it's saying there is debris being lofted in there. Put these tines back up here for you. All right. Again, just looking through. Looking through some information here, just let's see if any fresh damage reports. All right. Yeah. Let me see if I can bring this in here. Bear with me. I just found some pretty captivating video. Let's see if I can add this as a source here. No audio with this, but this was near Brookhaven earlier. This is the tornado crossing the. You can see it crossing right there. Let's back this up to the beginning. This is a very large wedge tornado. This is from Connor Croft from X, by the way. Incredible video right there. That is the storm that we're looking at right now. Scrolling through some things here. Again, just looking through multiple data sources. Let's go back and look, see if the National Weather Service is. Let's see. All right, let's go back and do some more. Just check up on the storm here. No more reports of damage, but this says that we do have reports of this being on the ground earlier. That couplet, the velocity signature does not look as nasty as it did earlier. That's a good sign. Let's see if this thing's still throwing debris in the air. Okay, and the debris signature is pretty much gone, so that is a very good sign that this thing is weakening. But as you can see here, it's starting what it's doing seems like it's doing is cycling, and that's going to be the nature of the beast with these storms. Is they're going to go through these periods of cycling where they weaken, they strengthen, get really strong, produce, and then they'll weaken, and then they have a new area of rotation that starts to develop, which this seems to be what is going on here. You see this little pocket of green back to the left, or back to the west here, Wesson. That could be the sign of a new area of rotation that is forming within this storm. Now let's go back to the wide view. Take a look at everything and see what's going on, because I know a lot of people are asking questions. I'm going to change from the local radar. We're going to throw on the composite view. And you pick out where you're at. So the main action today for Mississippi has been confined to the far southwestern corner. The southwestern quadrant of the state is under a PDS tornado watch. And I believe that goes until 10 p.m., but let me double check. 9 p.m. So that watch is in effect till 9 p.m. tonight, and that'll probably be extended to the east as time goes on, but it may not be extended as a PDS watch. We'll just have to wait and see. The main axis of instability is moving into the area right now. That's what this storm near Brookhaven has been riding inward. These lone cells out ahead of the storm, ahead of this main system, are what we're going to really have to watch. These are the ones that can produce the very large long track tornadoes. The main line now stretches from just to the north and east of Houston, Texas, all the way up to Monroe, Louisiana, and you get a shield of rain back to the west of that towards Shreveport in the stable air sector. So once this line passes, that's in Monroe. The line is basically from Memphis to Clarksdale to Greenville to Monroe. Once this line passes, the air behind that is very stable, and the severe weather threat is over for everybody that's behind that line. But I think just based off of what we've seen this afternoon, it's going to be a fairly long evening for the folks down in the southwest corner of the state, and that could continue over into the eastern side. So let's reset. I'm going to go back here, take a look at the storm. This is the storm of concern so far today. This has produced a tornado. I don't believe it's on the ground currently, based off what I'm seeing on radar. I have not been able to see any more damage reports, which is good. But we're seeing this inflow notch. This thing is developing a new inflow notch here. And you have a hail core. This pink and purplish is a new hail core that's developing, which tells me this thing is cycling and it's starting to get stronger again. So we're definitely not out of the woods. If the tornado warning is still ongoing, let's put up some new times here. Wesson, 4:05, Beauregard, 4:07, Hazelhurst, 4:16, Georgetown at 4:31. If you are downstream, even if you're near one of the communities that I mentioned, you need to take this thing seriously. Go ahead and put your tornado plan into action. Just ride this thing out. If you're in a mobile home, you need to go ahead and get out of it. This is not a storm to play around with. This thing, we have had reports of damage back in Franklin County, and with injuries. I don't have any more. That's all the information I have. I just had a report of damage with injuries back in Franklin County. Near the I think it's McCall Creek area. Let me. All right, so looking at this here, I'll just reset stuff here, clear that off. Let's take a look, go back and look at the velocity. And it's still not as organized as it was. I mean, there's still some rotation there. Definitely does not look as good as it did 25, 30 minutes ago. And again, I don't see anything being lofted as far as damage, but this thing is definitely, the hail core continues to get better on this thing. So the updraft is strengthening. And you see this little notch back here starting to form just to the west of I-55. There's a little inflow notch. This thing's starting to get a hook shape, that more familiar hook shape, which means that it's trying to get it, again, it's trying to get its act together. Northbound rest area. This is going to be coming up on the northbound rest area. If you're in that rest area, you're probably getting pummeled by hail right now. This area, the rotation is fixing across Interstate 55, just north of, so I believe it's going to be right at or just north of Silverina Road. This is the Country Junction truck stop. this is what I'm looking at. I think it's going to cross just between Tower Road exit and the Country Junction truck stop exit is where this thing's going to hit or cross. No indication right now this thing is on the ground, and they've let that. They've reissued the tornado warning, but they have let that expire or let the taken off the observed. And they've taken it completely. They've canceled it completely for Lincoln County. And this warning still goes until 4:45 for South Central Copiah County. 4:06 p.m. National Weather Service radar indicated a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Martinsville or 7 miles southwest of Hazelhurst, moving northeast at 40. Right now, it's just radar indicated rotation, which you see right here. This little inflow notch here, this hook starting to develop. This thing will be near Glancy, Martinsville, and Hazelhurst around 4:10 p.m.